All right, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, good job with engine braking. Roll off the throttle, apply some brakes, let them in, not a big deal. Moving on. All right, very good. Headlights in our lane. We were going to get hit head on right there. All right, what's happening here? Intersection, lots of pedestrians. Hey, come on, you saw that. I know, he has a full stop. Okay, let's see. Let's see. He probably, okay. Yeah, he straight up didn't stop. Okay. All right, all right, all right. But look, you had a pedestrian behind them too. You still had to slow down. So you still got that guy with the gray. Who cares? Not a big deal. You kind of already going into the intersection. It's still annoying. Still annoying, but whatever. All right, let's see. Okay. That's probably a typical situation. They should have seen you before moving and passing. I get it, but it's a typical situation, man. You can't change the world just because you're pissed. You're passing on the right. Still, guys, come on.
The driver's caution, a quick reaction which saved him from a whole lot of trouble.
Okay. Whoa! That Corvette driver saved himself. Saved himself. Oh, you just said, you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Dude, you weren't paying attention. Take a quick look at this. Okay, this is why we need to have a good space cushion, okay? So this is why we need to have a good space cushion.
And here is...
We have a decent space cushion. We can brake right now. We can swerve right now. We have a good plan. Now it's getting worse. Now it's getting worse. Now it's getting worse. Now we have brake lights. Brake lights in the truck, brake lights on the Corvette. And now we're not in a good position for safety. This is not a good position for safety because if anything does happen, okay, this is our space cushion. Not good, not good. We're not going to stop in time. We're going to hit the side or the behind the vehicle, the back end. If we were over here, okay, cool, cool, cool. We're going to get all the way up to here. If we're over here, okay, cool, 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 over here. This driver was doing really good 360 situation awareness, was witnessing that this motorcycle rider was not paying attention. See, look at that. We barely applied the brakes. We would have hit the back. Watch the front end dive. Watch the front end on this motorcycle dive. There it is. Now we hit the brakes. We would have hit that vehicle. That's why we need to have a good position for safety. Now imagine this. Okay, get rid of the truck. We are right here, lane filtering position behind the Corvette, and we were trying to stop, and we couldn't stop in time. The Corvette didn't move. Okay, the Corvette was just sitting in the middle of the lane. We were in the lane filtering position, which would be right about here, okay, or even on the line. And this is what would happen. So this Corvette driver just let us know you need to have a better position for safety. This is really cool information. Got very lucky. Very lucky. What is up, everybody? Today we're gonna be going over this video where the cyclist right here sideswipes us. No, I'm just kidding. We're actually gonna crash ourselves. Well, kinda. So let's go ahead and see what happens. We went off road a little bit, but how did we get there? Remember, we're planning a ride. Hey, it wasn't that bad. Found an escape a little bit, luckily, and we are doing pretty good with our slow speed stuff. So remember, when we're talking about planning our ride, we need to position ourselves for safety. We need to locate hazards, assess relevant threats, navigate active threats. Now, we already kind of did that right here. It's winter, it's cold, and it's wet, and I made a mistake. Hey, great after action. Right now it's going to indicate, hey, tires might be cold. It's a little bit wet outside. You know, so here's the thing. Maybe there's some road surface hazards, some loss of traction. Maybe we're not going to be able to brake so easily. So when it comes to that, when it comes to the weather, the conditions present, what the big thing here is that we need to be focused on what it is that we can do to kind of mitigate some of those factors. So if it's wet out, are our tires any good? Have we been checking our tires, checking the PSI, the tread depth, everything? So before we even ride, are we good? Do we have full gear? Do we have what we need so that we're not shivering and our dexterity is not too good on our gloves and our fingers and everything? So when we're trying to brake, progressive brake, and accelerate, all these different things, are we having issues there? So make sure we're mitigating quite a bit of that before we even get on the bike. Now, let's say we're getting on the bike. We're right here. We have a corner coming up. And if our buddy up front is telling us, hey, there's a corner coming up on our cardos, boom, we already know. We already know we can slow it down. But here's the thing. Our buddy is way, way up there. So our buddy's way up there. We don't know what they're doing. They're just hauling booty. So we got to catch up too, right? We got to catch up too. That's why our speedo's kind of blurred out, okay? So we're prepping ourselves before a corner, not in a good position, okay? We located it's a hazard coming up. Are we the threat? Okay, assessing relevant threats isn't just potholes, pedestrians, sides of the vehicles, a meteor shower, whatever. We could be the threat, and that's usually the biggest thing. Okay, so let's take responsibility for our actions. Let's take responsibility for our safety. Let's not blame anybody else. Let's not blame our buddy. Be like, hey, man, you were going too fast. You made me go fast. How many times have you heard stuff like that? And you're like, what? It's not my fault you crashed. You crashed. And then there's this big argument. It's because people don't like to take responsibility. Okay, everyone likes to blame other people. He might be to blame. Who knows? At the end of the day, you take responsibility. You broke your own boundaries going fast, because it goes past your boundary of, I'm a beginner. I can't handle this. It's outside of my conditions, outside of my scope. I'm crossing my own boundary to keep up with you. And now I'm going to blame you because I broke my own boundary. Okay? So there's a lot of psychology and stuff, a lot of personal responsibility that needs to take place. And it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough being open about your boundaries and what you can and cannot do, and then sticking with it. It's a lot easier to blame somebody else, and that's what happens when we see car drivers, okay? So we're coming up to here, we're slowing it down. We're not slowing down enough, okay, for this person. It might be enough in a sunny day when it's not wet on the road, when our tires are in perfect condition, they're warmed up, they're tacky, they're grippy, whatever those things are. And we slow down a little bit sooner typically, but we're going a little too fast into the corner. We're following our buddy. We weren't paying attention. It is winter out. It is wet. It is cold. Too many different factors involved. So right here, we're trying to slow it down. It's like, man, I can't see around this corner. I don't know what's going around it. I mean, we should be in orange stage prepped and ready, but I can't see nothing around here. So we're going to try to go across, trying to get out of there. But our buddy is like slowing us down even more. And it's like, oh, bad situation, bad situation. So we lost a little traction right there. You start seeing a little fishtail. So let's watch that one more time. Watch the bike kind of just float. Okay, let's watch the bike float. That's when he's fishtailing. That's when he's losing traction. There's a little bit of floatiness, and we're not going anywhere. So right now, well, we are going somewhere. We're going into here. So right now, he's got to make a decision. Do I slam the brakes like that dude did yesterday in that corner, right? Or should we find an escape path as best as we possibly can? Best as we possibly can. Well, that's the initial. That's the best one, because right now, if we stayed on the road as an escape path, we know we got traction here. You know, it's asphalt, right? We know the direction we should be going. This is where we want to go anyways. But if we had to, because it's just not going to work, is that we swerve left. Now, it's not the best, like I said, but you know, you're not going to hit a pole. Okay, so you're going to lose traction here. Hopefully you can keep it up. That's what she said. And we're going to just kind of move on. Luckily. So there's no damage to the bike, no nothing yet. But the main thing here, the one thing I really want you guys to understand and pay attention to, is that you need to take responsibility. That's what this whole week's kind of been about. Taking responsibility for your actions. If you want to blame somebody else, blame somebody else. But at the end of the day, once you're done blaming them, are you any better? No, you just made somebody else feel like crap. Okay? So taking responsibility, don't go past your own boundaries. Okay? Find out what your boundaries are. Before you head out on a ride, tell yourself, 55 miles an hour is pretty tough. Okay? I'm not really good at corners. So guys, I don't want to take corners quick. You know what? I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. And maybe one of these days when you're like, hey, I'm not really good at parking lots, or I'm not good at these corners, maybe you're going to have one of your friends, maybe one in the group rides, like, hey, you know, next week or after this ride, let's do some corners. Let's go to the parking lot. Let's go practice. So grab a donut. We're going to go out to the parking lot and we're going to practice some stuff, since maybe you don't have a friend that's going to take you there. Let me take you there.
What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be focusing on the Orbit. It's going to be a bunch of right-handed turns, but here's the thing. We're going to play around with it so we can practice our head and eye movement and our right-handed, basically 90-degree turns. And if you want to practice your left-handed turns, just flip it around. Timer doesn't matter because we're exiting out on the other side. Let's jump into this. So this is the demo. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So it's going to be 3 turns. So this is going to be considered 1, where we started. So I like to count this part. So this is 1, and on that second one, I'm gonna exit out. Here's 2. So now I know I need to exit. And exiting out. Like I said, the timer doesn't really matter on this one. So what we're gonna be doing on this next one is that we're gonna take each little corner slower and really purposeful movements, like straight turn, straight turn, straight turn. And this is practicing your right-handed turns, and a lot of the head and eye movement, you're getting a lot of reps in. So where it comes naturally. So coming up to here, look, okay, nice and easy turn. Come up here, look, nice and easy turn. Come up to here, look, nice and easy turn. Come up to here, look, nice easy turn. look, nice, easy. I'm gonna say it the whole time. Look, nice, easy turn. Look, nice, easy turn. This is the second rotation. Look, 90-degree turn, and we're just gonna exit out. I want to make it to where my chin goes onto my shoulder and I'm annoyed with myself saying, look, nice, easy turn. Because I want to be able to make turns and be like, oh yeah, head and eye movement. I'm giving myself coaching cues. Oh yeah, head and eye movement, looking where I want to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do it, not as quick as possible, but without changing so much. You know, I want to make it as smooth as possible, almost like I'm not even changing my turn after the first one. So here we go. We're going to kind of keep the same body position the whole time. So nice, easy turn, look. I'm still looking, still doing nice, easy turns. I'm using my peripheral vision to look down, and then I'm using my focal vision to look up. This is the second rotation. We're going to exit out here. Boom. So what I said about peripheral vision and using my focal vision, what I'm doing is I'm literally using my peripheral vision to look down. So you have that focal vision, which is going to be that little bit, and the rest out here is kind of blurry, but still you can see stuff, you see patterns. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my exit with my focal vision, so it's over there, but with my peripheral vision, I'm looking down where the cones are. And that's going to help you out. That's practice when you're out in the road. You're looking at the horizon, you're looking in front of you, using your focal vision to look out for those path of travel violations and all those other things. Peripheral vision is going to help you gather, like, oh, that part of the road looks darker than the rest of the road. Quick look. Oh, yeah, it's a pothole. Observe and move. So it's a great practice. Get yourself out in the parking lot. We're about to head back inside, but get yourself a drill booklet. I got to ship some of these out to you guys.
How can I ease my fear of riding a motorcycle? Well, we just had some fun in the parking lot. That's one way to do it. But here's the easiest one, and probably the best one you could possibly do. If you want to get over your fear, go take a class. Go take an in-person class. You're going to have an instructor there, hands-on. They're going to see things in real time. They're going to tell you what you can and can't do, or what you should and should not do, all these different things. You're going to get a lot of good information. We do have an online academy, which is just like what I'm saying, but it's not in person. But this also allows you to be anywhere, right? It's a 3-hour plus course, plus it has bundled with the Smart Rider drills. I need to grab one of these out because Steven just grabbed a cone and a booklet. But yeah, go practice, go train, get out there in a course. But if you don't want to do that, and you already have some information, or even if you already took the course and you're practicing the drills, whatever it is, the next thing you can really do is gradually increase your exposure. So think about that. Let's go remove motorcycles for a while. I know 95% of you are men here on this channel. So here's the thing. How do you get better at talking to women? You just say hi. You just say hi. You're not good with that? Just go to, next time you go to the Circle K, gas station, QT, whatever it is, just say hi to the person that's at the cashier. Just say hi to the cashier. Maybe say, how's your day? Start practicing. Expose yourself to that social interaction. And then maybe one day be awkward. Go to a bar, go to Barnes and Noble, go somewhere where there's people. And just walk up to them and say, hey, how's your day? And they look at you kind of weird. Cool, move on to the next one. Hey, how's your day? Move on to the next one. The biggest thing when it comes to, getting better and getting over a fear is that exposure, but it really comes down to the rejection. So if you're fearful of riding a motorcycle and you're not very good at your slow speed stuff or even on just normal speed stuff, you have to get okay with just being bad. Like the first few rejections trying to say hi to a girl or something, sucks. But then after a while, you're like, oh, that's just like the last 10. It's not a big deal. Just like when you're out in a parking lot. You failed, lefty-loosey 10 times. It's just left-handed U-turns. But then the 11th time, you're like, hey, it's not that bad. I don't care if I fail or not. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying. So exposing yourself to risks that are mitigated. So parking lot, right? Starting off in a neighborhood, then moving up gradually till you get to interstate, which then you get to like in town. Interstate's actually less hazardous and safer than riding in town with other people. So there's that. So now that we got to, you're taking a class, you're starting to expose yourself, not that way, guys. You're starting to expose yourself to some of these scary things. The next thing is just, like I said, you're gonna do it 10 times. You gotta practice. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And it's gonna get to a point where like, I can't figure it out. This is the 25th time saying hi to a woman and they just still look at me weird. Well, maybe, get a lint roller for your shirt. Did you shower? Did you comb your hair? Did you brush your teeth? What are you wearing? Sweats? Like what is it that you're doing? You know, if you're out in a parking lot and you're like, I can't get this left-handed U-turn down. Well, what are you doing wrong? You're not even looking where you're supposed to be going. You're looking at your handlebars and you're like wondering why you can do it. You need to put your head, your chin on that shoulder and really turn into it. So you start to recognize, man, 20 times I'm failing. I suck. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're new. You don't suck. Get rid of that intrusive thought. You're failing. Why? This is where taking responsibility for yourself and what you're lacking is important, because that's how you get better. So you're fearful of stuff that you're not confident in, you're fearful of stuff that you're not, or fearful of stuff that you're lacking, the information that you're lacking. So the more practice you get, you're actually getting information that you're lacking something, which is great. Now you look at it, you're like, I'm lacking this. I'm lacking my head turn. I'm lacking that I was wearing like a tank top and I looked like a weirdo. I don't know. I don't know what it is that you guys wear. This is what I wear. But you're gonna find out through your exposure, through some information at the beginning, and now through practice, you're putting it to the test and realizing some things don't work. What do I need to change up? And that's really important. So that's how you ease your fear, because now you have a purpose, you have a driven goal versus I'm scared of riding motorcycles. It's like, I'm scared of riding motorcycles because my left-handed U-turns are terrible. I suck at turning left. That's not the end. Now, how could I get better at my left-handed U-turns, or how do I get better at turning left? Now the fear starts, it's not even there anymore. It's what can you do? Originally the question is, I'm scared of this. Now the question is, how do I get better? Always try to change it from fear into growth. Fear-based decision-making to growth decision-making. Very, very important. That's the only way you're gonna get better. It's not just motorcycles, it's your personal life. You know, you're anxious all the time, how do you get better? What am I doing wrong? You're getting in fights all the time with your spouse. It's very hard, but you're gonna be like, what am I doing wrong? How can I, so you're starting to kind of go down that route. And it's not necessarily what are you doing wrong, it's more of a what can I do better? I should be rephrasing that. So guys, go out in the parking lot, ease your fear, take a motorcycle training course, or if you don't, like I said, go to the parking lot, get a Smart Rider drill booklet. Okay, so thank you so much, Steven. And then practice, 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 practice with repetition that's good, and figure out what it is you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. Try to get rid of the wrong, do what's right. Okay, guys?